It happens every day in companies across the country. A new plan participant finds themselves at a loss over which plan investment offerings to choose. That's when the company's plan advisor swoops in and offers to sign them up for an individual advice program, so-called managed accounts. The employee figures that their company must endorse the service if they allow it to be offered in the first place. So, they sign on the dotted line because, after all, how much would a 0.25% or even a 0.75% annual fee cost in the long run? Unfortunately, the answer is a lot. As these employees' savings grow, so will the amount that's deducted from their accounts each year. And that's on top of the other plan-associated fees. Little do many participants understand that they're signing up for a service that will cost them hundreds of dollars every year, thousands of dollars as time goes on. Or that they could enjoy the same service from a fee-only financial advisor for a fraction of the cost. As a fiduciary committee member, it's important to realize that seemingly small fees can eat away at even the most successful returns at an alarming rate. In your time on the committee, you'll see plenty of services pitched, but a fundamental part of the committee's duty is to scrutinize each and ensure that only those that are absolutely necessary or worthwhile make the cut. It is equally important to keep an eye on the service providers that you do choose to utilize in order to ensure that their fees remain reasonable for the services they perform. But how are you supposed to know? This is where benchmarking can once more serve as a valuable tool. These days, there are plenty of services that will provide you with data on the national averages of service fees for a variety of different plans. Obtaining this data from an independent third-party service can give you a reliable tool for comparison. It can also serve as a great negotiation tool when interviewing potential service providers. If you aren't able to get your hands on solid benchmark data, or if you're shopping for a new vendor, then you might also consider sending out requests for proposals, or RFPs. RFPs essentially outline your plan information and ask for quotes from various providers. As long as you get enough responses to make for a realistic comparison, RFPs can be very helpful. Just keep in mind that the skill of the person who writes them will highly determine the quality of the responses you get. Once you've assembled reasonable benchmarks, then compare them against the fees of your current vendors. Ideally, they should be below the national average when compared to plans of similar size. If not, then it may be time to consider negotiating or to start investigating better options. Last but not least, you may be able to lower your plan's fees simply by asking whether your employer would be open to covering their costs. It's actually more common than many committees realize for employers to cover all, or at least part, of their retirement plan's fees. After all, it never hurts to ask. The important thing to keep in mind is that both small fees and small savings have the power to add up substantially over time. Good fiduciaries never overlook the importance of either.